Hey, they're on. See that? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Holy crap, look at that. Doing something. This is exciting. I thought I wouldn't get much out of that. I wasn't sure. It was just a thought. I've shown my successes in these videos before, but I wanted to show all of my footage of me experimenting with different ideas. I did test this once, and I got a reading off of it. And then some of them seemed kind of ridiculous because it was based off of maybe a simple image with no information, but I tried every idea I had. I haven't really figured out how to do this yet. I now better understand what is happening here. As the video goes, I'll post a picture or a graphic of what I was learning, because looking back I could see what I was trying to do. Well, there you have it. Here's a flashlight that's run on cement. I'm going to try to just present these videos as uncut as possible based off of these small successes. I know that there is incredible technology that we can have in our hands that we ourselves can make in our own backyard. So my next idea is to melt down a piece of glass onto a penny. And I can probably get it hot enough with my torch to make it soft. And then it might make a good bond with that penny. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but that's my next idea. And then I'm going to put a little aluminum plate on top of that so I can make the cell just like that. And I'm confident now that I can get a reading off of it regardless of what happens, because I know glass, I can get reading off of it. It's just getting that connection really well bonded on there. In fact, let me just test that really quick here and just show you that this is an aluminum plate and this is a copper plate. And other people have used different metals. They've used magnesium. See, I bought these magnesium rods, and I was gonna maybe cut them down and slice them so I have a little circle to work with, or make some cells out of it. I don't know. You can buy this online, or you know, those igniters, those lighters that scouts use to light fires. They use some shavings of magnesium, and then they ignite those with the flint and steel. So some people use that metal, but I just use aluminum and copper because it's available. And I use these copper pennies from 1982 or older, and those are the copper pennies before they started using other metals. So if I want to make them out of pennies and these little aluminum things because they're very abundant, and you could just find those in your couch or in the cracks of the seat of your car or something. So I want to melt this down, and I have a couple ideas with it. I want to melt it down on top of the penny, so that there's a bond there. And I know that you can't really melt glass with a torch. I mean, I think you could melt it down. I've never done this before. I think you could get it red hot and soften it, but it'll get a sticky bond onto that penny, and enough it'll get hot enough where I can form it or something. I don't know yet. But then I'll take this other aluminum plate and put it on top, and then so it'll have a really good bond there, just straight contact without any glue or without any cement or anything. So, and I'll make this small enough because I want to make these cells all in series in a stack like this, and so I could just fit them into a dollar flashlight like this. So it'll replace the little it'll replace the battery little thing that slides in there. And so I thought that would be really cool if I can actually get this to work, and it'll be like just a little more than $1. You can make this flashlight work, and it'll be forever lasting. That's my mission and my dream right now. And you saw there that it was getting pretty red. I mean, it was starting to get red. It started getting a little malleable there. And then I put the aluminum plate on there, and I noticed that the aluminum plate was melting over on top of the glass, so maybe that'll create the bond there. So whenever it cools down, I'll just see if it's together. I'll clean off the connections there, and then I'll put a multimeter onto it and see if it holds any kind of charge. And if the bond is really strong, that's what I'm looking for anyway. So I'll continue to make better ones. I did see at the Hobby Lobby store that they sell these little circle cutout glass for little mirrors, and I noticed that. I'm like, that would be perfect for this little thing, is I could buy a little pack of those circle mirrors for projects, and that's basically glass with silver coating on the back to make a mirror. But I could shave off the coating on the back, and then I have a perfectly cut out little piece of glass that I could just set on top of there, get it all heated up and then bonded with the penny, and then it'll be in the perfect form there, and then just cut out circles of the aluminum, put them on top. So then that'll be a perfect little cell, and then you can have a nice clean looking series of cells together. And that's the theory. So we'll keep going with that test. We'll just clean this off and see what it reads. So it's cooling off a little bit, and I did notice that it did not bond with the penny like I was hoping. I might need to melt the glass first and then put it on the penny. I don't know, but so there is no bond, but I could tell that the glass is melted, at least got soft. I just need to get a or hotter torch. A acetylene torch would definitely work. I just don't have those kind of tools. But anyway, I'm going to just see if this has any kind of reading. I mean, if the glass, is better formed onto the plates, then that'll be a good test as well, I guess. Tiny bit. And I didn't really clean those off. I just need to do that probably. That's not a really good test right now. I need to get these cleaned off. And then I did get a small jump on the reading, but I guess it's not really getting that hot on the bottom. I noticed that none of the it's still pretty smooth on the bottom. It kind of makes sense because the rock and the penny will take the heat away from it, make it cooler on the bottom. So maybe I just need to try to get this thing melted down as much as I can, and then put it on the penny, or do it some other way. So we'll figure out a way. I'll get a better process and we'll go from there. I hope you're able to see what I was doing there. I just got it, the glass really melted independently off of the penny, because I think the penny was sucking out all the heat, and it wasn't getting hot enough. So I independently got the glass hot enough, and then I heated, right before I put the glass onto the penny, I heated up the penny so it'd have enough heat so it wouldn't cool off immediately, so it'd have a kind of a bond, I guess. And then instead of just placing the aluminum plate on there, I thought, why, I could just melt it on there because it was melting anyways. Okay, it's still warm, so I'm suspecting that the reading will be a little higher versus when it's cold, but I just want to see what's happening here. Holy crap, look at that. 0.52. So I'm guessing it's going to go down when it cools. Still cool though. This gives me a direction, so just from this little test it gives me a direction to go, and I could go with the knowledge that I have. Experiments can be frustrating at times, and the process is, you have to have a lot of patience and trust in the process of experimenting. But it gives me a direction, and I can call it a tiny success. And there goes the bond again. But it has some kind of readings on there. I mean, you can't deny that. I just really want a good bond. That is the challenge. There is a tiny bit of melted glass on there, so maybe I could just put a little dab of aluminum on there. And I'm just going to try that. So, got the copper penny, a little bit of melted glass, and then aluminum, melted aluminum on top. I need to cool this down a little bit. Yeah. Well, honestly, when I was trying to clean it off, the aluminum came off of there again. So the bond isn't really working that well, but there is a little bit of aluminum on there. I'm just going to test it. There's glass and aluminum, so I'm just going to see what it says. That's the benefit from having this multimeter, is that you can just test and retest and see what it does. These little experiments. You used to learn a lot from doing just these little tiny things. Holy crap, look at that. Hopefully you could see that. Try to get my fingers out of the way, but I mean, one factor is that it is warm, and if there is kind of any stress like heat or pressure, then it's going to have an effect on the reading. So it's just the little tiny aluminum bits on there I'm putting it on. I'm getting some though. You're getting it to jump. .36. I bet if I get aluminum on there, like I was planning on doing, and a bigger piece of glass, I bet it would. I bet we're getting there. Let's keep trying.